73%. Please, everyone vote so that we can have. 11 people voted out of 23. So other people can also vote so that we can have a entire this thing. And I see most people voted out of 20 transition into product can also vote so that we can have a. It will be coming on your screen. Sorted out of 20 transition into product can also vote so that we can have a. It will be coming on your screen. Sorted out of 20 transition into product. 14 people voted. Yeah, 77% is in transition. Coming on your screen. Sorted out of 20 transition into product. 14 people voted. Yeah, 77% is in transition. Coming on your screen. Sorted out of 20 transition into product. 14 people voted. Yeah, 77% is in transition. Coming on your screen. Sorted out of 20 transition into product. These people voted. Yeah, 77% is in transition. Coming on your screen. Sorted out of 20 transition into product. These people voted. Yeah, 77% is in transition. It's a poll result as well. Mostly people is under transition, and that's 79% of the transition and 21% is a product transition, and that's not democracy. 79% of the transition and 20% is a product transition, and that's so I think we can start. So to start with, first of all, hello everyone, my name is Anjali. Be on my camera. So to start with, first of all, I'll start with my introduction. That on my camera, a bit about myself. First of all, I'll start with my introduction. That on my camera, a bit about myself. First of all, I'll start with my introduction. That on my camera, a bit about myself. Hi everyone, can you see me? I'll start with my introduction. That it will be good to have everyone on the camera for some time, and then we can see me. Cool. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Nita. I've been working in a product for last almost 5-6 years. So I'll introduce my specialization core as AI product management. I have built the product across fintech, across a very I would say reserved industries where which is very have a very much skill across variations, etc. I've also been making a product, different products. I've been a partner with many actuaries as a mentor. I have been teaching people Gen AI across. I've been teaching founders across. I've been consulting founders across US. I have been Dubai, Middle East, entire Singapore, Southeast Asia on product management.
traditional logic, rules can be very clear, defined, and all that. But for to use AI, it has to be kind of working with unstructured data and all that. Because like I've gone through this data science courses, and from there, like I'm just gaining my knowledge and sharing it. And the next thing is all about the whether like what is the cost involved. Say for example, if we have to go with a traditional method, more resources are required, and what is the cost business can spend cost on the resources. So I think the more resources are so there are kind of these are kind of the key factors which we will have to look into. And about what kind of risks the program can actually risk tolerance we call, right? So these are kind of risk factors that we have to look through before we decide on that.
Got it. Yeah. So, like, yeah. So your answer is correct.
So
But
these
the
are kind of
only thing which I say is like, it should be structured. So when we are expecting product manager interview, or basically this is product managers strategy and product, which means that many stakeholders will listen to you, whether it is a CEO, whether it is a CMO. So you have to have a persuasive skills. So whenever an interviewer is taking your product question, you have to be in a structured. Your brain should have a structured thinking of a messy data. So now, if you see, therefore, product managers use many frameworks. We say that प्रोसेसिंग के लिए भी क्यों भेजो? आप वो प्रॉब्लम ओपन सोर्स से सॉल्व कर देते हैं बाय हैविंग इट हियर। अब वो प्रॉब्लम पर्सनलाइजेशन वर्सेस प्राइवेसी की पर्सनलाइजेशन के लिए हमारे पास बहुत बड़े-बड़े मॉडल्स हैं जैसे जीपीटी का पूरा एंड ऑल बट प्राइवेसी के लिए हम उसके ओपन सोर्स मॉडल डाउनलोड प्राइवेसी की पर्सनलाइजेशन के लिए हमारे पास बहुत बड़े-बड़े मॉडल्स हैं जैसे जीपीटी का पूरा एंड ऑल बट प्राइवेसी के लिए हम उसके ओपन सोर्स मॉडल डाउनलोड प्राइवेसी की पर्सनलाइजेशन के लिए सो ऑटोमेशन वर्सेस कंट्रोल अगर आपको फुली ऑटोमेटेड ह्यूमन इन द लूप चाहिए या आपको ह्यूमन इन द लूप क्योंकि हम ऑटोनोमस जैसे सपोर्ट है सपोर्ट कैन नॉट बी फुली ऑटोनोमस एजेंट बिकॉज वी नीड टू हैंडल द like cash backs we need to handle the prepayments etc so हमें in the human in the loop चाहिए so for the designing perspective you need to know that cash backs we need to handle the prepayments etc so हमें you want a fully autonomous agent or you want a human in the loop.
So we can do hybrid as well, right? I mean, so there are places we can automate the process, and there are
Exactly.
places that, yeah, okay.
So or you can use a hybrid approach so that you have to explain to the interviewer or to your even to your stakeholders कि मैं hybrid approach use करूंगा या मैं दोनों में से एक use करूँ
Okay.
बिकॉज ये नहीं हो सकता कि पूरा सिस्टम ही ऑटोनोमस हो ये हो सकता है जैसे पूरा कंटेंट क्रिएशन ऑटोनोमस हो और पोस्टिंग के लिए ह्यूमन इन द लूप हो जस्ट फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल राइट एंड स्पीड टू मार्केट वर्सेस सेफ्टी लेट्स से अगर मेरे को ये वाला बिल्ड करना है ये रिकमेंडेशन वाला अगर मैंने इससे बोल दिया कि एआई नहीं है तो हो सकता है कि मुझे टेस्ट करने की नीड नहीं पड़े मुझे इतने इवैल्स नहीं पड़े बट आई कैन नॉट शिप अ कस्टमर सपोर्ट एजेंट जस्ट लाइक दैट राइट बिकॉज अगर मेरे कस्टमर सपोर्ट एजेंट ने मेरे ब्रांड के अगेंस्ट बोला या ऐसा बोला कि यू ट्राई समथिंग व्हिच माय ब्रांड ही प्रमोट्स so what will happen it will impact us reputationally it will impact us cost wise it impacts us every time right
Hmm.
so therefore it depends like अगर आपको ऐसा फीचर लॉन्च करना है जिसका सिक्योरिटी इशू हो या जिसका नॉर्मल इशू हो so that's the main thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Nitya, I just want to, I mean, I don't know whether you're covered, but so you said Vicky, when to use Python script or when to use AI things. So if they ask kind of question, then what ideally we should to say, or if
Means
okay, if they ask in automation when you are going to use Python the script or when you are going to use agentic AI or
that covered which means that अगर जहां पर भी पर्सनलाइजेशन है वहां पर यू यूज एआई बट लेट्स से अगर इफ एल्स है तो जहां पर या तो ये होगा या तो वो होगा लाइक वेरी डिटर्मिनिस्टिक इन नेचर जहां पर आंसर्स वेरी प्रिसाइज एंड डिटर्मिनिस्टिक नेचर है वहां पर वी यूज दिस थिंग
okay, all right, yeah, yeah.
so where it is like very determined in the nature in that there we use this.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions anyone?
Ma'am, one more question, ma'am. So, what are the generic Gen 8 tech stack we need to know, ma'am? For example, for an AIPM. So, we need to ship and build products, right? So, let's say like we need to know automation.
You need to know LLMs. You need to know RAG. You need to know this all the vector databases. You need to know agentic AI.
Okay, ma'am. Agentic AI in the sense like the auto.
Agents which has the LangGraph, LangChain, CrewAI, N8N, all these.
Okay, ma'am. Not the generic one like AutoGen or something like that.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So all these are the agentic AI where all these frameworks and then you need to know about the evals. where there is AI events. Yeah.
AI evals.
Can you share that skill sets into?
So AI evals is nothing. It's just like it does not have a particular tool. So AI evals is how your system will behave when it is. Let's say हमने बोला कि LangChain like LLM is a very non-deterministic in nature, right? We don't know how it performs. So in that case, we use this. I have just shared a link of LangFuse. So in that case, we will see whether it is giving us a right answer or not. Yeah. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes. Any
Yeah.
coding, any coding skills will also be it.
No, you don't need the coding skills. You need to know how to work with the agents, let's say Cloud Code and all. So that you need to know.
Can you just ping the skill set in the chat box so that you can remember?
I have added this. I will add that as well. Wait. LLMs, agentic AI, charts your line graph, factory, factory. Then your AI evals, which is LangFuse. Then your vectors, vector DB, RAG.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes, yes.
Will we
I
have
have it.
lectures on all of these things, or we have to study by own? Or
That I think AcceleratorX keep doing these kind of workshops, so they do have.
okay.
Hey, Nitya, do you have any YouTube channel or kind of things that I mean, if you have any conducted any sessions or kind of regarding this or anything?
Sorry.
Do you have any YouTube channel kind of things that which you have any conducted any sessions or you have posted on YouTube like kind of things regarding?
AcceleratorX has a YouTube channel where there are classes.
But there won't be about your class, na? I mean, I'm asking
Uh,
about
uh,
your.
uh, yeah, my classes also are there
अच्छा ठीक है okay.
because I do conduct the classes there. My classes is also there.
Or ma'am, any other like YouTube sources if you want to recommend other than these classes for any
There are many. It's see, it depends on the person to person, right? That how it appears and all. So it generally depends on the very person to person. So let's say the few are the all the OpenAI, Claude. In सबके YouTube channels are the main thing which you can follow to learn the best of it.
for product management?
So product management, you can follow Accelerator X. For the product management, you can follow product conference wala channel like that.
Okay.
So if there will not be any technical skills which will be needed, so how when
Technical skill,
the
you need a technical skill. You don't need a coding.
okay, so what's the difference in terms of
Coding
can you
means
give an
where you are.
example?
Yeah, coding means where you are coding. But technical skills is you need to know about RAG, where to use RAG. You need to know how what is a fine tuning, how it works. You need to know about the words called embedding and all like that.
But when you are creating any agentic AI platform or a solution for the customer or for the company, so in that case, if there are some errors or if the agent is not behaving as it is expected background, those codes will be written. So if you don't have that understanding, so these
product managers will be working with the technical team, or they are the ones who are developing the solution and releasing it? Technical teams are developing a solution, but we have a product builder. As some companies have requirement where they should know how to build this, because AI agents, product manager can build themselves with no codes as well and with the coding agents as well. So they don't know coding, but they know how to use coding agents. Okay, because generally, in case there are some issues while you are developing it, certain basic understanding of the coding piece will be that is needed not required. Issues also they can debug. So that's the skill which you need to have. That even if you have the issues, you can debug with the coding agents. So, just maybe personal question in terms of how you have started engaging in terms of understanding what all things will be needed to gauge the I've been building it for like 3, 4 years right now. Then when 2022 it came, like mostly 4 years. So till then, I've started with an LLM. So because I started at a very early stage when the LLMs comes, so all these technologies start keep trying. But now the technology is more mature, right? So you can start with an LLMs, like I mentioned, even agentic AI and all. You can start with some course of Gen AI. All that you can do it. Or if you want to self learn, then you have to study each of these courses together, like that. Generally, there is a fine gap between the fact you are developing something and then you become a coder, because there is a you thin don't line. Need to get yeah, you don't need to get into coding. Yeah, because as soon as you start developing it or doing the configuration or having a setup, I then didn't do code right now also. I've been into 3 years developing the product, but I don't do code. I use Cloud Code. That I build apps. I build apps. I do code. I build prototypes, but I never code.
But you must be from technical background now. You must have done BTech or
Physics
B.
background. I was from a physics background.
Acha.
Yes.
Okay, and so is there any product you have built up and which is giving, I mean, which is profitable or which is giving revenue as well, kind of thing?
I have I have built a I generally don't build I build a startup product, not a startup product. I build an enterprise product.
Yeah.
You remember all that whenever you go to any company, your background check has been done. So that background, whether you have a criminal case or not. So
BGC,
I
BGC.
yeah. So that product kind of products I built. I built a loan management system where you put a profile in whether you are eligible for a loan or not. It comes in the 1 minute and all. So that kind of products I built. In case when you are building a particular product and there is a technical glitch, or you have rolled out it must have been productionized, correct? Those customers will be using that product. Prototype. I have a tech team also who handles my things as well, right? So what you as a product manager needs to do is like it depends from a company. If you have a small scale company, then you can build it, right? If you have a large scale company, then obviously you have a tech people. What you need to do is you need to give them a prototypes, then they will take care of. Hmm. In the companies or the setup that you have worked in, there was a tech team. You were preparing the prototypes and got it approved. And for some product, yes, the tech team, the main product tech teams are there. But many products I rolled out myself also. So like say I rolled out an app recently, which is used by like law enforcement people. I have 5,000 plus app, and I don't have a tech people on that, and neither I code that app. So, in case there are some issues with respect to the performance of the application or from the security point of view, that a cloud code or these agents can handle it very well. Cloud code or cloud code and this cursor like IDs can handle it very well. Oh, is there any learning path in terms of understanding what all things has to be done as part of it? Yeah, yeah. As I mentioned in the like, I just give you a list of items, right? So those you can use it as learning part. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So what, as I given you these parts, those you can use as a learning path. Like LLM, you can learn. Then you can learn agentic AI. Then you can learn how to build with AI, and then you can learn with this. So this is what I teach in the Gen AI sessions of AcceleratorX as well. So it's just like first is LLM, second is Gen AI with the AI this thing, AI website, how to make an app with AI, how to host a website app with the AI, and then after that it is like how to make an AI agents with that. All that then evals comes, how to have the evals risk assurity. So all that is the part only. So what I have mentioned like AI, LLMs, agentic AI, vector, RAG, AI, that's the structure of learning it.
Okay, so that will be covered as part of the Gen AI course or the project manager course offered by
Gen AI course.
because there is one accelerator course, sorry, project manager course as well.
Yeah,
Product
it's product manager course, not a
sorry,
project manager.
product.
Yeah, that is mostly like it is covered. Some part of it covers, while hands-on of it is a Gen AI course.
Which is a super set course means in terms of whether both are exclusive or is there a overlap or how
There is,
exactly?
yeah, I think operations team would be able to tell it better. But yeah, there is some overlap because product managers is to like including Gen AI, right? And Gen AI is just Gen AI, so it is product management plus Gen AI.
Okay.
I think that's it from my side today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the session. And if you like it, do mention us on LinkedIn. Do mention Accelerator page, and you can use mention me and on a LinkedIn as well. We'll repost it if you like that session. And in case if you have any about the products or if you want to see that, you can talk with the like obviously product like Accelerator team will be reaching out to you, so you can talk with them on that case. And you can follow like the LinkedIn pages of AcceleratorX as well, where they can keep putting about the masterclass and all. Anything else, guys, or we can wrap up the session?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, if we want to go into tech PM and at the start of the career or as a fresher, we have to have that much knowledge if we are choosing any niche in tech background, and if you are non-tech, and if you are from a non-tech background.
I did not get your question.
Like if someone is from a non-tech background and they want to switch in as a tech PM, as a fresher they have to have that knowledge in some niche that you're choosing.
Yes, yes. You have to
Then
have that.
to prepare for that, like
You either you can take a course or you can do a self study on the LLM, like seeing that how do you know about LLM, what you can make about LLM, and doing some projects.
okay, but as a fresher, if we prepare by ourselves and self study, then like is it must to have you have to have uh, a lot of knowledge onto that, or is it okay if you're fresher you just
You're fresh, it's okay, but you must have some hands-on experience, right? You must know at least not have to have a knowledge, but you have to have. You should not be such a basics, right? So you have to have something.
ma'am, you have theoretical knowledge won't be enough for that in that niche.
Sorry. Yeah, theoretical knowledge would not be enough in that case.
Okay. Ma'am, you have mentioned some projects, right? What does that sum mean? Like, can you number?
Like you can white code a app, you can make your own AI agents, all the projects you can make it.
Okay.
And what about the data? Does it have to be a genuine data, or we can gather it?
You can gather it. You can use a synthesis data as well.
Okay.
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah. So you can hear me, right? Okay.
I can hear.
Yeah, I've observed that companies hiring for technical product management roles, they tend to prefer candidates with an engineering background or degree equivalent to uh, science or electricals engineering
that
and
that
computer.
that happens when in the very beginning of the, like, if you are freshers. But if you have an experience of being working with a tech product more than like degree, then they can prefer you without an engineering background as well.
Okay, but that is a very rare thing, Nitya,
It's
because
not there. It's about the experience you have, right? So if you have a 4 years of experience of building into an app which is very technical, and you are the only product manager, you have a very good repo, you have very good recommendations, then it is not a rare case.
okay,
Because skill set is more important than degree in today's this thing. Degree is important, like engineering and all, but if you have a skill set, if you have a accepted portfolio, then it is very this thing.
mhm,
You got it?
So there are two courses which are offered by the accelerator. In that, this product manager course will include all the aspects of Gen AI. So Gen
Yes.
AI would be more of a subset of this course. So it will include other aspects
Yes.
of product manager plus the Gen AI piece as well.
Yes. Correct.
So
And the other is like accelerator team can reach out to you, and you can, like, in detail they can able to better tell you.
thanks.
Mhm. Anything else?
Ma'am, I have a personal question. Hello.
Yes. Tell me.
Yeah, currently I'm doing an apprentice. So that will be finishing off by May 12th. And I have also taken this PM Accelerator course. That will be completed in June. So should I start going for interviews after in May, or should I take the certificate? And I have also applied for IBM
You
certificate.
you can prepare with a certification, and then you can go for the interview, because then you have hands-on experience as well.
Okay. And how
Or
can IBM certification help for someone who has also has AIPM
it's brand
certification?
name, right? It has a brand name,
Yeah.
so that's the main thing.
Oh, thank you.
Got it. Any other questions anyone have, or we can wrap up the session if any questions in the areas. Anyone? Okay, cool, guys. I think that's it for questions. So, if you like the session, do take the screenshot and put it on LinkedIn. You can tag me and AcceleratorX team. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. And you can like follow the AcceleratorX YouTube page as well, as you mentioned. So we look forward to connect with you. Hope you had a good session on the Sunday, and thanks appreciating your time on the weekend. Sorry, Saturday. Appreciating your time on the weekend. Thank you. Have a very nice day and all the best in your careers. And I know you all do well because the first step is to step on anything is to take thing and whatever which you have already done. Only a matter of time when you're able to learn it. So all the best to every one of you. Hope you enjoyed the session. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.